Now on GMU at 6, moving forward with impeachment when the Senate will begin the trial against former President Trump.
Good morning. In a couple hours, some Uinta Elementary School students will be arriving for the first day of in-person learning. Coming up, we're live with why the Salt Lake City School District is deciding to bring students back sooner than later.
Plus, I am tracking wintry weather for so many of us. We have winter weather alerts I'll go over in detail. We have all that and much more.
And then Utah State Capitol reopens today. Here are the rules in place if you want to visit Capitol Hill.
Live from Utah's first TV station, Good Morning Utah at 6 starts now.
Good morning, Utah. I'm Brian Carlson.
And I'm Sarah Martin. It is 6 a.m. on this Monday. The day has finally come. It's back to class in person today for some elementary school kids in the Salt Lake City district. ABC4's Jared Jatnini live at Uinta Elementary in Salt Lake. Jared, this day has been a long time coming.
Yeah, Sarah, due to COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic, so for about a year now, Salt Lake City School District has been teaching their students online. We have crews out here right now getting the parking lot here all ready to go for school. It's kind of icy out here. But school will be starting for Uinta Elementary School and district-wide at 8 a.m. New numbers from the Salt Lake County Health Department show that keeping elementary school-aged students home from school really doesn't protect them from contracting COVID-19. Now, according to the Salt Lake County Health Department, data from the school districts in the county show that despite rising COVID-19 cases in the community, there really isn't any evidence to support an increased risk for elementary students when they attend school in person. Now this resulting in the Board of Education voting to offer an in-person learning option for elementary students. The principal at Uinta Elementary sent us a statement reading in part, "Our teachers and other staff have worked tirelessly to be ready to safely welcome students in person while we continue to work with all of our students who will remain online." Each school has been equipped with touchless water fountains, and every student will be provided a water bottle. The district will sanitize nightly with electrostatic sprayers and nebulizers, and there is also improved airflow district-wide. Now, this is a phased reopening plan district-wide. Again, today, pre-K, kindergarten, and first graders will return in person. By February 8th, all elementary-age school students will be returned to school. Now, for more information on the reopening plan at this district, you can head to our website, abc4.com. But the overall tone from the administrators that we spoke to, very excited to begin this next phase of bringing students back to in-person learning. Live, Jared Jatnini, ABC4 News.
Glad to see everybody getting ready to bring them back. Thank you, Jared. The governor right now, the time is 6:03, and Governor Cox is now responding to claims Utah received fewer COVID-19 vaccines than any other state. According to the Salt Lake Tribune, Utah was allocated the fewest amount of vaccine doses, and our state's unused vaccines could slow down rolling out the already small supply. So in response, Governor Cox tweeted, quote, "I'm grateful to our health department for correcting the record and responding to each claim in this article. The short answer is no. We have not received less than our share, and we know are not in danger of losing any supply. Quite the opposite."
Happening today, some Utah prisoners will get their first doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. The Utah State Prison in Draper will give out 79 doses to senior inmates 70 and older. The state prison there houses the most high-risk inmates in our state because it's so close to the infirmary and local hospitals. So far, nearly 3,000 inmates have tested positive for COVID-19 in Utah.
And speaking of inmates, COVID-19 cases at the Davis County Jail are up. The jail says they currently have 33 inmates who tested positive. An additional 44 inmates have been potentially exposed, but so far are testing negative. Those who tested positive are being housed together and are receiving medical care as needed. Those exposed are being quarantined. The jail says most symptoms have been mild, and so far a total of 50 inmates have recovered from the virus.
Let's get your morning update on COVID-19. We reported 1,500 new cases yesterday, a lower number. That brings our state total to 336,000. So far, 228,000 Utahns have received the vaccine. 461 COVID-19 patients are being treated in Utah hospitals. 13 more Utahns have died for a total of 1,595. Let's look at our last 7 days. We're now averaging 1,700 new cases a day. Our testing positivity rate back slightly up at 19.4%.
And let's check your weather. Erica, we're finally seeing snow in our winter time.
Yeah, we are seeing snow, we're seeing rain, we're seeing a mix. We're pretty much seeing a mess out there. So, Brian, it's all about making sure you get to where you need to get to safely, because we're going to track a lot of precip for today in different types. So let's start off with St. George, Brian. Look at this. A live look outside. You can't see much. There's certainly some rain on the lens. Right now, we're getting mainly rain showers. We were seeing snow showers earlier, and now we're seeing a change over to some rain showers because of the current temperature in the upper 30s. Additionally, the prevailing southerly wind, which is increasing as the day progresses. Currently, though, St. George, your sustained wind speed is at about 12 to 15 miles per hour, kind of somewhere in that area. Still constitute a pretty strong southerly influence there, and that's why we're seeing that changeover. But we are having a few issues as far as your traffic flow goes, including snow on the road. We also have areas of dense fog. And look at this. This is a really interesting product, and I love this. This legend right here is giving you an indication of what road temperatures are like right now. So you can see they're hovering right around zero. It is cold out there. And I also want to show you a couple of images here to give you some perspective of what we have going on, including those slick roads and foggy conditions. Look at this. You can't see anything out there. Visibility is really poor right now, so make sure you give yourself extra time for this commute. We're going to go over this wintry weather pattern for the rest of the week. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Erica. Happening today, the Utah State Capitol set to reopen to the public. Officials closed the Capitol building for the first 4 days of our legislative session because of concerns over potential protests following that deadly breach of the U.S. Capitol. Senate President Stuart Adams saying now, though public input essential to the legislative process, masks and physical distancing will be required, and troopers will still be conducting bag checks.
And new this morning, Republican lawmakers across the country are pushing to allow gun owners to carry concealed weapons without having a permit, including here in Utah. 15 states already allow concealed carry without a permit. Now lawmakers in an additional 9 states, including Utah, are following suit. So, for example, in Utah, House Bill 60 would allow anyone 21 and older to carry a concealed weapon without a background check or a weapons course. That bill did pass out of a House committee on Friday, is now off to the full House for consideration. Governor Spencer Cox says he supports the idea, unlike Gary Herbert, who vetoed a similar bill in 2013.
Now to Washington, a single article of impeachment against former President Donald Trump will be delivered to the Senate today. Both sides have agreed to a 2-week delay so that Senate trial will begin February 8th. Democrats say that'll give them some more time to go through President Biden's cabinet picks and work on his agenda. Republicans say it'll give President Trump more time to prepare his defense.
And Utah Senator Mitt Romney says he believes incitement to insurrection is an impeachable offense. Senator Romney says former President Trump encouraged people to go to the Capitol as Congress certified the election. Speaking here on CNN's State of the Union yesterday, Romney says the president deserves to defend himself, even as Romney emphatically says the election was not rigged.
Where was it that the president got the idea that the election was fraudulently delivered? Did his Justice Department tell him that? No, as a matter of fact, they told him just the opposite. Did the intelligence community tell him that? No, actually, they said just the opposite.
Senator Romney says Trump's claims are simply made up.
New this morning, a new poll shows Utahns are not happy with Utah Senator Mitt Romney. According to a Deseret News Hinckley Institute of Politics poll, 64% of Republicans disapprove of his job performance. Looking at all Utah voters, overall approval rating now down to 50%, but 46% disapprove. That's the highest that number has ever been.
And 2 people in a crash in West Valley City are fighting to stay alive this morning. That crash happened yesterday at 54 South and Mountain View Corridor. Police say a small car ran a red light and hit a truck. The 3 passengers in that truck were fine, but 2 people in the car are in extremely critical condition. Police say the truck may not have even seen that car coming.
I didn't see any tire marks of any kind where the truck would have had time to stop. And there's nothing on the roadway that would indicate any braking.
Now, police say it doesn't appear alcohol or drugs were involved. It was a crash-filled weekend. The Utah High Patrol is reporting 229 crashes during our slick and snowy weather.
During one of those crashes, a state trooper trying to help got hit themselves. These are photos after that crash Sunday morning. Fortunately, the trooper was inside the car wearing his seatbelt and was not hurt. The Highway Patrol says this serves as another scary reminder of why it's important to move over and slow down when you see emergency crews on the side of the road. And another major crash shut down Big Cottonwood Canyon Sunday. The people involved had to be rescued from the freezing Big Cottonwood Creek. The crash infuriated drivers. They were caught up the canyon for hours. At one point, traffic was allowed out of the canyon, but just for a short time, and then was closed again. One frustrated viewer wrote to us late last night saying in part, quote, "We are among thousands of vehicles stuck in Big Cottonwood. We're nearly out of fuel. My kids are cold because now I have to cycle the engine off. There's no reason the police can't get everyone out of the canyon, then close it to perform the car removal later with lights. I'm concerned about my kids, and road conditions will get icy as time goes on."
And search and rescue crews in Davis County rushed to save a man and his dog over the weekend. The sheriff's office posted this video yesterday. It gives you a sense of the dark conditions, the snow, and below freezing temperatures they were facing. Crews say the man got his truck stuck in the snow and called for help.
So we had a young man early this morning that decided to drive up as far as he could go in his truck, and typically what that means is that you go until you get stuck, and that's what he did.
Now, crews safely did rescue the man and his dog with no major injuries.
And a man passed out on a ski lift in Park City, then passed away. This happened at Deer Valley Resort Saturday afternoon. The man was visiting from Costa Mesa, California. Ski Patrol got him off the lift and tried to revive him. Ultimately, though, he did die. The man was 78 years old.
And a man shot over the weekend in South Salt Lake is in critical condition this morning. That shooting happened Saturday night near 8th West and Timber Creek Way. So far, details are limited, but police say they found a 44-year-old man in critical condition, and they have identified a person of interest.
And an apartment complex caught fire Saturday night in Salt Lake City. Now a couple behind bars. That fire started yesterday at that complex near 360 South, 400 West in Salt Lake. The flames affected 2 units. Police say it started because of an illegal narcotics lab. Police arrested 21-year-old Brianna Westra and Brian Calhut for operating that lab.
The time now 6:12. Coming up on GMU, Tokyo could face major economic losses if the Olympic Games go without crowds. Hear how many billions of dollars are at stake. And Utah lawmakers now considering alcohol to go. Learn how soon they could vote on takeout alcohol.